Hello and welcome to a very special episode of Gundam Battle Operation 2 featuring the Super Gundam. I won't go into immediately what it is, but this is a 550 ground and space support with a ballistic and beam resistance of 28, a melee resistance of 4 because that's insulting, a range strength of 50, the plus ones from the modification, a melee strength of 5, a movement speed of 125, and a thrust gauge of 65. For parts, we have 5 close range, 14 medium, and 21 long. I'm assuming that you can kind of get the gist of the units aimed at. For equipment, we have the long rifle, which can be fired uncharged, but you can charge it to do extra damage. We have the Mark II beam saber. We have the multi-tube missile pod ×2, and we have the Knuckles dummy balloon, which can do damage and be useful, but it's very situational. For skills, we have High Performance Radar level 3, High Performance Scope level 3, Observational Data Link, Frontline Support System level 2, Scouting Parallel Processing Device, Special Back Buffer, the G Defensor, which is attached to its back. That's what it helps with, because it is a big target. High Performance Aerospace Gimbal, a Back Binder Special Cushioning, and High Spec AMBAC level 2. Now, this unit's actually obscenely good for a support. It's fairly quick, it's fairly durable, and it can pump damage out to a ridiculous level. Now, there are some better units in it, but this is just a reliable unit, especially if you want a little bit of the sniping along with the ability to kind of maneuver using the missiles to keep throwing damage out, which really add up very quickly. So it's an outstanding unit. In lore, the G Defensor, the thing attached to its back, was used to help increase the mobility and the weapon use, or the weapon loadout of the unit, as it was losing out against more modern designs. Because you have to remember, this is technically a second generation mobile suit, but only technically. It has some features that became common, especially within Zeta Gundam, but it's a bridge between the first generation that you would see in the 1 Year War and the later generation of suits. So I definitely give it 2 thumbs up, and let's see how it does in the match to come.
Hey, welcome to the match, everybody. I hope you're having a good time. This is an interesting one. It's the second match I filmed, which arguably had my worst performance in it, but I feel that it's a little bit better for viewing purposes, a little bit more action, but hey, you go with what you got. So, we're at Space Mat, of course, and well, I'm going to do one of the things I usually do. I tend to break over here to try to back up whoever's grabbing C in this map in particular, because I tend to like the idea of taking one spot. But, you go with what you got. So, I flipped over to my missiles, threw some out there, and missed that shot. And trying to keep on the move and help out my guy here, but he's getting kind of overrun, and this unit is not necessarily what I would call the best thing for forward facing. So I'm going to stop him from getting too close, drop a couple missiles in there, but the kill's going to be taken. And I'm just going to keep using the missiles to badger and then try to get in a beam shot where I can. And the Zong is an interesting unit to see. It's still pretty strong as far as I'm concerned, but it takes a little bit of consideration in terms of play. So I'm going to miss that shot every now and then, and I'm going to try to... Oh, that's a good one right there. And I'm just going to keep trying to back up my guys as much as I can, throwing out as much damage as I can, while staying aware. And I really shouldn't be wasting my time with this guy. He's very erratic, but, you know, you try to get that damage where you can. So I'm going to throw it against the Zong, who I don't believe is very good against Ballistic. Take him out. Shazam. And I'm going to keep going for this guy. And I'm going to hit him. Nice amount of damage. And I'm going to come in and just pepper him with the missiles. At the very least, get him moving. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to decide, do I keep trying to stay on here and help 3 out? Or do I ignore what's going on behind me? And as you can see, I had to pull back because the Zong is here. And he can actually legitimately mess my day up. Now it's going to take him a little bit of effort, but I'd still rather not have that problem. So I'm going to switch over, throw a couple rounds into him. And honestly, the Super Gundam is ridiculously good. Maybe not the most powerful thing ever, but I think it can just shell out the damage and stay somewhat mobile. Gonna smack him. I believe that's the opposing support there. And I'm gonna start backing up a little bit because they're starting to make a bigger push, and I didn't want to be on the front line. As a general rule, I don't really feel this unit is super good at frontlining, honestly. So I'm going to keep trying to go between these guys and helping number 3 out where I can. And quite honestly, not helping him as well as I was hoping. But when you're kind of juggling multiple people, including this fairly vengeful support, you only have so much you can do. So at this point, I know I'm kind of screwed, so I'm trying to delay, get as much damage in there as possible, and then die. Shadoop. And right now we're not doing super great. I didn't know the rules, so apparently that got me killed. It's nice to know that. So this is one problem that I often run into, is teams that just spread out like this tend to struggle a great deal. So you can kind of see it here. I keep trying to come in to help my guys out, and whoop, he got saved the last second. And thank you for the kill, sir. So hopefully, you know, your teams don't necessarily just kind of do this, but you never know. Sometimes it's very hard sometimes to do the necessary teamwork without a form of communication. So I see this, I decide to drop in, take him out, and of course we got guys spawning behind, under us, technically behind some of the team. And I'm just gonna sit here and kind of wait, because I wasn't sure where my team was gonna go. Get nice degree of damage on that guy. Ouch. His toes are hurting, I'm sure. And effectively do what I can to help my team out as much as possible. I'm also not very good with the beam weapon on this, as the kitten yells his disapproval at my gameplay. So I'm not much of a long-range sniper. I'm sure you might have noticed that most of the gameplay, but the suit is absolutely bonkers if you are, and you can get a good sniping position. I'm kind of using it as a mid-range support, trying to trip them up with the stagger of the beam rifle, then going right to the missiles to pepper people. And, okay, so I'm seeing these guys try to push me. So I'm just going to back up into my own guys and throw out some support where I can. Three's managed to handle him, so I'm going to turn my attention to the Zong, who I'm pretty sure I can at least annoy the bowl out of. I'm going to just keep throwing in that damage, let my guys do what they can with him, and go from there. And I'm going to turn over here because I wanted to see if they were spawning from E, but they're spawning now from C, and I want to be able to maintain as much range from people as I can. So, charging my thing, missing my shot, tradition in the way, and I'm going to throw that missiles out again. These things are ridiculous. So I'm holding my position as we are under a minute now, and I'm just throwing it out there. I don't feel like I've really taken out that many units, but you'll see at the end that this unit can really pump the damage out. And I'm going to get hit from behind by Zong, who's trying to come up on me. Now I'm going to use the stagger, throw some missiles to basically kind of pepper him a bit, and potentially at least try to get him to back off. Hit him with the beam rifle again for that stagger. Missed that shot, and I'm going to keep moving as much as I can as he punches me, and the end of the match happens. Alright, let's see how we did. So, manly pose, doop-a-doo-doo. 1 position for top assist, that's not bad. And second place, 4 kills, more than I thought. And hey, thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.